Okay, so I want to talk about pinning the stack, because there's going to come you're going to come across a lot of machines in a gym that perhaps haven't got the necessary settings to make them fit you as the individual. So I'm going to use Jake and this seated hamstring curl by Life Fitness as a prime example of this. And this is a machine that you will find in a lot of gyms across the UK. So when I've set Jake up into this position, the first thing that I'm going to need to check is, are we within his active range of motion, or are we exceeding his active range of motion? And by that, I basically mean, and I'm going to check by just getting him to, first off, turn your knees in a little bit for me, Jake. I'm then going to get him to try and pull these feet away from this pad. Okay, so as we can see, he can't do that. So what we can kind of theorize now is that this pad is pulling him through a position that he doesn't own at his knee joint, and therefore could potentially be putting some unnecessary strain around this joint. So what we're going to now do is we're going to adjust this pad by pinning the stack. So what I want you to do, Jake, lift that pad up for me, mate. Take that weight completely off. And then hold on to that for a second. And I just want you to push down on this pad for me, but keep this leg here. So this is the range that he owns. And can you go any further up? Okay, cool. So just hold it there for me. Make sure that's not lifted up there. Now bring that pad up through to this position. That's it. And you can see, if we look at the actual stack here, there's a gap. But this is now being positioned more in line with where Jake's natural range of motion is at the knee. So what he's going to do now is he's going to put the pin on the weight that he wants to use. And it might take a little bit of wiggling around and moving up and down in the pad just so that it sinks into the hole. Once he's done that, he's then going to put back that thigh pad, and he's now in a position where he can perform this movement safely within his active range of motion, and he's not being pulled at the top of the movement in a position that's potentially going to put strain on that joint.